I can tell you for a fact, though, when that happens, uh, there is an enemy, man, and he is
Yeah.
hunting and he is coming.
Yeah.
And that is one that I've realized on mission trips. Every time I would leave my family to go on a mission trip, man, the devil came flying full force at my family
Yeah.
while I was. And then just more recently, man, he's gone straight ahead at my team at the
Hmm.
mission, and really gone on the attack. And the reality is, like, if our God is for us, who can be against us? So we're not
Yeah.
afraid of him. He's a really annoying pest.
Yeah.
So, and he can't win. He will not win the war, right? But he's going to try to destroy and pick apart
Yeah.
and discourage these kids. And so, no, we are more than conquerors, man. We're getting right back after it.
Yes. No, you're so right. I completely agree with that. Anytime we're about to do something at church, big events coming up, kids start getting sick. When you're away, you have to go to retreats, or you have to do like a prayer walk, or you're about to have a pastoral meeting, or you're going to do something where you're going to vision cast. Every single time there's something go on. I completely understand. My co-minister for seems like the past 8 months has been under attack. It's just one thing
Mhm.
after another. And it's all around the ministry that we're doing. And
Yeah.
I know some of the stories you mentioned before we started this, that you had a staff member that passed away, and you have replaced him, but the impact that has is devastating to a new mission, because he was a face. He was somebody who made a huge impact. So how did you guys move forward when something like that happens?
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind, man, the last couple months. And I'll tell you, it came right at the heels of one of our kids in deepest trauma starting to just unload some of her trauma,
Mm.
um, from her freedom. We had a kid in October that just started kind of laying it out. One of our mission team members said it seemed like she just got sick, and she just kind of puking out her story, and then
Wow.
she would rest for 10 minutes, and here comes another kind of attack of, just getting this out. And with that, man, has been a whole bunch of crazy. I had to fire one of my key employees,
Oh no.
um, because of their bad choice on the mission. And that actually led, oddly enough, to me being arrested while I was there for false accusations.
Wow.
And
I haven't
I
heard
get
that
to
story yet.
Oh man, it's been a whirlwind. And it's also been things like I had a couple guys on my staff that in the middle of the night decided to bet each other that one could drive our most expensive vehicle and the other one says he can't. And they puff out their chest, and I laugh now. They did a lot of damage in that moment, to our best vehicle, but literally two guys that were wrong made a right, took a right through our front wall,
Wow.
security wall, and or a coconut went dead center of our other SUV windshield and shattered it to pieces. And yeah, and in the middle of all of that, my lead guy, my project manager, passed away,
Yeah.
um, after what he didn't even know was a battle with type 1 diabetes.
Oh wow.
It didn't know about it. Had been super sick. By the time we got his blood work, he'd been walking around with his blood sugar level in the 700s for 3 weeks, which is insanity.
Yeah.
And 37 years old, finally submitted, went to the hospital, and a week later left behind his wife of just barely 2 years and his 9-year-old and 7-year-old son.
Wow.
And so, one of the things that I had to do, Rob, in that season was I had to learn that it's okay for me to grieve.
Yes.
Um, it's okay for me to hit pause. What I tend to do often is get right back after it, because there's a lot of stuff. Now I've got my project down. I've got my social worker out, that I had, let go. I had, car repairs. We've got financial things. We had some banking issues where their bank that receives our funds decided they don't receive international transfers
Oh.
just suddenly. And so you're all this was like September, October, November, 2 trips that I had to make unexpectedly
Yeah.
back and forth to Liberia in a month time. But there was a moment, man, where I had to hit my brakes a little bit and go, man, I have to say that this sucks, right? I mean,
Yeah.
James tells us to consider it pure joy. Joy hurts
Yeah.
sometimes, right? So,
Yeah.
so you just had to say like, okay. And
Yeah.
then I needed to be there for the funeral and weep with those who weep, mourn with those who mourn, spend time. And God he wove this story. He's writing this story. And so, my new project manager that's doing such a good job right now, is actually my past project manager's best friend.
Wow.
And he is doing an incredible job. Uh, God gave us what we believe is another social worker that stepped in with a lot more maturity and understanding. She's doing a great job of getting things organized. And so, God is working. We believe that our best days are ahead. And somebody once in Liberia told me that gold has to go through fire in order to be refined and beautiful.
That's true.
I don't know that if I spend that much time in fire, I'm going to be beautiful, but we're going to walk through it and God will get the glory. So, it's been, man, and we're still walking that story back, and we're seeing what those results are. Now, what I will say about that guy that passed away, Bleedy, man, he lived this. He lived being a defender. He owned it for the 3 years he was on the project. He was never a guy that wanted to be in the camera. This right here that you and I are doing, he would hate with a passion. But when I got there, the amount of lives that man had impacted. I had people in the capital city 2 hours away telling me sorry. I had people in the main town. I had store owners that were stopping me on the street and, just telling me that they missed this quiet, gentle, humble servant guy.
Wow.
That guy discipled more people. And honestly, I'll tell you this, I think he discipled more than most elders and pastors do in their entire lifetime. He did it in 3 years.
In a place,
loving people.
In a place that that death and destruction is so normal and just an everyday thing, where people can just stop for a second and realize the emptiness that's going to happen because of the impact of one person, is just a testament of what Christ can do.